Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm here with my buddy Paul, and we're going to tell you why building the foundation of your business is so important. This is one of the things that I see a lot of people get wrong, and not just people starting out. We see people that have 7 and 8 figure businesses that do not have this down. All right. And it's a constant state of, where's the next problem going to come from? And it all stems from any type of challenges not having the foundation of your business built. And we'll get into that now. Why it's so important to actually build business credit the right way. So Paul, let's get into that.
Yeah, absolutely. I've had a lot of interesting conversations over the last week, especially from a simple post that I made of here's some basic steps to take to build a fundable, like basically like a business that is able to attain lending and able to build business credit. And some of the steps you would think are almost common sense, but a lot of people, when they start their business, they don't know where to go for the resources on what to look for. So we miss out on little tiny details like how should I set my address up? How should I set up my corporation? Right.
Mhm.
I still talk to people that are running, businesses that have been in operation for several years that are doing well, that are sole props.
Yeah.
So it's incredibly important, and it may not seem that way. Like, why should you, excuse me, have an email address that you go out and spend $21 to get a professional domain name, then go to Gmail and get a free email with that domain as the at blueskybizsolutions.com, at integratedbusinessfinancing.com. Why is that important? And a lot of people don't know that. They don't know why.
Yeah.
So it's just little things like that I see constantly that people need to stop overlooking those things.
Yeah. I think the problem comes in really if you don't have your business credit built, you're constantly relying on your personal credit, and most people will finance their business through personal cards that they don't realize are personal cards. And so what happens when you do that is now your credit's going to be lower because you're using more of your revolving lines. And then if something happens in the business, and that's usually where we come in is, hey, something happened in the business and now they have a low credit score. Well, now we have to do everything we can to fix them and get them out of that mess. But we're fighting an uphill battle. Because if the foundation of the business was built properly, they would still have great credit. And then the types of programs that they could get from that point on would be SBA or lines of credit instead of, let's say, working capital or other programs that aren't going to help them as much.
Yeah.
Right. And also when you have your business credit built, you can go to your suppliers, you can go to your vendors and say, hey, I need terms. Right. And now getting terms from them will allow you to cash flow your jobs better. Okay. Instead of paying for materials or supplies or inventory up front, you can get them on 30-day terms, on 15-day terms. And that means you have 15 to 30 days before you have to make a payment on it. And that means that you can actually sell most of that inventory before you actually have to pay for it. And then you realize those margins, guys. That's how big this is.
Yeah.
All right. And recently we brought on 2 inventory finance companies. Guess what they look at? Financials and business credit. Okay. Anytime you go for equipment financing, they're going to look at your business credit as well. Anytime you go for an SBA loan, they're looking at personal and business credit. Okay. And I can tell you that Paul will test any given time, we always have 4 to 6 people stuck where we have to work on their business credit before they can move forward with the SBA loan. All right. That time that you are stuck, even if it takes us 2, 3, 4 months, that's 4 months of opportunity cost, meaning that's 4 months you could have had that money, been using that money in the business and growing the business that you are missing out on because we have to go back and build the foundation. Okay. This is why this stuff matters so much. And typically, if you go anywhere to get the foundation, like the business credit built, it's going to cost you $3 to $5 grand. You can come into the foundation workshop one day, get your business credit built by a pro, by Paul. Okay. And then after you get that done, I'm going to show you how to increase everything you need in your business to align perfectly to get any type of financing you need. Okay. And we are going to map the financing you're going to need against your goals. So you will know, all right, I have to be ready to qualify for equipment financing, or I'm going to need to get an SBA loan here because I want to go and look and acquire other businesses, right? That's what we're doing at the foundation workshop. This is not rah-rah. This is we're ripping apart your business, putting it back together much, much stronger, much healthier, and you will have a real plan for growth. All right. That's what this is about. And some of the things that we're going to do, like Paul, talk a little bit about the legwork and homework before.
Yeah. So where a lot of people don't get themselves set up properly, it's just in the initial process of how do I set my business up when I go and register for all these, when I go to register for Duns and Bradstreet, when I start doing my Experian homework, right?
Yep.
And it really comes down to, do you have yourself filed as an LLC or a corporation, S Corp or C Corp, right?
Yep.
Go back and verify your addresses.
Yeah.
What do you have listed in the Secretary of State? Because I'm willing to bet that probably over 80% of the businesses out there have changed their address recently and have not gone back and updated that anywhere. And their Secretary of State's probably still listing their home address or an address that they're not even in anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Which means then that all the bank registers and the bank information that you have is probably still connected to that old address, or you have a bank account that's connected to your new address. And now when they're pulling your information and it's pulling a separate address that's registered with the state, the IRS, Duns and Bradstreet, and all the other bureaus, it's causing issues, right? So go through and fix that. Make sure you have a Duns and Bradstreet number. You may not have that. Is it important? Can you build business credit without it? Yes, you can. However, Duns and Bradstreet is going to speed up and facilitate that process significantly faster because whatever your feelings are about Duns and Bradstreet, they still are the grease that makes everything move forward easily, right? Because of their database and all the information inside of there. If you have that information accurate and you have a good Duns and Bradstreet number set up already, it's going to make the transfer of information to all the other bureaus that much easier. So get that, right? And then make sure that you have all the other little details of this done. Like go get a domain, go purchase. I can't even even if you don't want to build business credit, go purchase
$12 a month.
And
here's another thing. Here's another, and I don't want to interrupt you, but here's another thing, guys. Because Paul mentioned it earlier, the legal structure of your business. If you are a sole prop, people don't know this. You can't get a line of credit. They will not approve you for a line of credit. They will only give it to businesses. Okay. So if you are sitting here and you're 4 years in, 5 years in, and you're a sole prop, it's probably time to fix that. These are things that will absolutely jam you up when it comes time to actually growing your business and building a valuable firm. All right. Because if this stuff isn't done right, the person you're gonna try to sell it to is gonna have to rebuild all of this, and they're not gonna want to do that. Do it right the first time, and then just update it as it goes along, and you will be just fine. So what are some of the other things that you guys need to do before? You need to have a business phone number, okay? And that's not a Google number. You need a phone number registered to the business. You need, like Paul said, that email registered to the business prior to coming. You need a business address, and then you need a website, okay? It could be a one-page website that has everything. Once you have all those things, you're going to bring it to the foundation workshop. And Paul and we're going to put all this stuff together. Well, really, Paul's going to put all this together, show you guys how to do it, basically do it for you. And you walk out of there with having actual business credit that you can now grow and scale the business with. All right, Paul, what did I miss on that?
I mean, not really anything other than making sure you have a business bank account set up and established as well, too, right? A lot of banks aren't going to allow you to change your information until you get the clearance from the Secretary of State certified docs. And some of them are even going to require you to wait for the IRS to send you back the official letter that the name change is reported over on your EIN number. So this isn't always a fast process, guys. I can't iterate this more. Start this immediately because it can take 30 to 60 days sometimes to turn around on all these changes that you're doing. Yep. So the faster you start it, the faster you're going to be able to get these things updated, and the faster you're going to be able to start getting access to better forms of lending, right? And to your point on the sole props, the minute you change to an LLC, it starts your time in business officially at that point in time.
Yes.
So we're talking 2 years before you can start looking at probably getting a real line of credit if you're a sole prop right now. So change today and don't keep dragging this out. Yeah.
These are changes that if you made certain mistakes, you want to make the corrections immediately. However, this is what we're doing. As you guys come in, and I'll drop the link here when we're done. As you guys come into the workshop, we're going to be doing all this. And if there are problems, we'll know ahead of time so we can kind of work through them, right? That's part of why we're having a interview or a call before we let you pay to come to the workshop, because we want to make sure it's a fit. We want to make sure you can do some really basic things for us. And I need to know that you can get me everything I need to do to review your business, to actually give you insights into how you can smash your goals for the next 12 months. Okay, so this is not a workshop where we're going to be up there speaking and firing you guys up. This is a workshop where we're digging into your business. We're going to help you hit your goals. We're going to build your business credit. And you're going to leave with a lot of clarity, a lot of action, and a clear path forward so you guys can dominate no matter who's in office or what crazy stuff is going on. All right. That's what's it. No, I'm serious. That's
No, you're right. You're 100% right. I mean, I laugh just because of the absolute chaos that always happens every 4 years, right? And the only way to protect yourself from that chaos is to have as much access to flexible jobs, income, money that you can have, but you don't get that unless you prep for it.
Yeah. And that's why we're doing this, guys. So please come out to the foundation workshop. We're doing at least one a month. The first one's going to be September 21st. I will drop the link to sign up in the comments, and we hope to see you there. It's going to be in Tampa, so it's not terrible, guys. You're going to be hanging out with us in Tampa one day, and we're going to get a lot of stuff done. It's going to be awesome. All right, so I appreciate you guys. Catch you on the next one. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you.